me playing a little Russ Conway tune called Side Saddle on the wonderful Stanway Concert Grand at a place called Buell Hall in Northumberland. A wonderful place for me to start off my trip around England. I used to camp at Buell Bay when I was a little kid at primary school, not very far from where I was staying now. Also camping at Buell Bay was my brother Andy and his wife Margaret. We took a trip to a place called Lindisfarne or Holy Island, a place I'd always wanted to visit, and it was really quite magical.
Oh.
Andy and we also took a trip down through the dunes from Buell Bay to Bamborough, where there is that wonderful castle. Then my nephew Chris and his girlfriend Louise, they came down from Edinburgh for a visit. This was a great chance for me to catch up with family, and I was able to spend time with Emma, her dad Rick, and my brother-in-law Mike, who really looked after me well when I was in Newcastle. This was a trip down memory lane, my old church, my old house where they let me in to see the house in the backyard, my old school, place I first had a job, one of my first memories, the Haymarket, Northumberland Street, the old bandstand and Uncle Bob's backyard. Then we went to Durham. My friend Rolly took me for a trip around to see all the old sites. There's my old college. Was there for 3 years. King Charles was coming to visit, but I missed him by 1 day. However, they did put the fanfare on for me. Then it was off to a place called Bacup in Lancashire to see my good friend Jim Cooper. Amazing to see he's doing so well and doing this amazingly creative work and still part of the local music scene. In Bacup there's a really neat old church that's been converted into a restaurant, coffee bar, entertainment center, and I couldn't help myself. There was an old Bechstein piano that needed some work doing to it there. Then it's off to Cornwall to spend some time with Morwenna and Paul, and also Lorna was there, and they have a beautiful property in a place called St. Agnes, and they just spoiled me rotten the whole time that I was there. We went on lots of walks over the cliffs. One was down to Perranporth. I got lots of exercise when I was there, doing over 15,000 steps a day, trying to keep up with the dogs. Then to Reen Manor to see Ben and James. And then we took a trip to Newquay, which was just a beautiful place and a nice way to end my trip before I headed back to London and then to Canada. But the trip wouldn't have been complete without having some music from the Elderly Brothers. The tune that Andy is singing is by Jimmy Nail, and it's called The Big River. That's not now.
The lost can be found, secrets unfold. What had happened to me with stories untold. It seems my life now is much more complete, with my brother Andy and friends yet to meet. So anything